Good morning and welcome back to KSNT News here on your Wednesday morning. A Kansas native is taking his Air Force training to new heights. Nick Hague will travel into space for the first time next month. Good morning, Nick.
Good morning, Brittany.
Well, thanks for being with us this morning. And we have to say you were born in Belleville, Kansas, and we have to know, what's it like to be a small town Kansas kid going to space?
It's pretty hard to look back and think, that's where I started. When you're growing up in rural Kansas, as you're growing up, you think you don't have any opportunities, and you think you might be missing out. Looking back on it now, I realize that growing up in rural Kansas actually was pretty beneficial, because I got to do pretty much everything in high school, play all the different sports and be parts of all the different clubs and activities. And that breadth of experience really gave me a foundation that led to the start of this journey. So I wouldn't change a thing where I came from.
And Nick, you are going to be going for the first time, and there's, I'm sure, a lot of preparation to go to space. What have you had to do up to this point to get ready?
Yeah, so my preparation started when I was selected back in 2013, and essentially I haven't stopped training since then. The dedicated training for this flight is about 2 years long. So back in 2016, I started the training process and putting on the finishing touches of spacewalk training, learning how to maneuver the robotic arm, learning how to repair all the major systems inside the space station, whether that's in the U.S. segments or it's in our foreign partners segments. And so some of that training happens in Japan, and some of that training happens in Germany. A big chunk of that training happens here in Russia, in Star City at the Cosmonaut Training Center. That's where I've spent a better part of a year over here learning how to fly the Soyuz spacecraft that's going to take me to the space station.
And this is a 6-month mission, and you're going to be doing a lot of research. Can you give us an idea on some of the research and the missions you'll be a part of?
Yeah, so there's going to be more than about 250 different experiments we're going to do during that 6-month period. All of them are important because that's the only place that we can try to answer some of these questions on the space station. It's the only place we can perform these experiments under long duration weightlessness. Some of those are I'm a little more involved in because it's human research. So I'm the subject of the experiment. Whether it's muscle biopsies, where they're taking samples of my muscle before and after flight to see how space affects my muscle structure, or it is a test of my lung function while I'm on orbit and down on the ground so that we can better understand how the respiratory system works, or whether we're trying to investigate how fluid and pressure shifts within the body because we don't have gravity tugging on our blood and all of our fluids inside our body while we're floating around up there. All of those things are trying to understand how the human body works, and the spin-offs of that knowledge help advance science.
Well, Nick, we are wishing you the best of luck from right here at home in Kansas. Thank you for joining us this morning, and we can't wait to hear more about all of your progress. From there, we'll be back after this break.